Okay, so I guess welcome everyone. And I guess since the main objective of the Northwest Shelf is to better understand the evolution of it in a plate tectonic and geodynamic framework, I'm going to, or like Chris and I are going to walk you through each of the key events of the Northwest Shelf and present you an update through geologic time. But I guess, so I just wanna, I guess, introduce each of the presenters. So I guess first we will have a BGH perspective or like a perspective from Chevron about the BGH. And I believe that Peter Lovely is going to talk about that. So then Chris and I are going to be talking about, these, making these syntheses of all these events. And let me remind you that the Northwest Shelf is a prime example of that polyrift margin. So that's why I guess we decided to split the synthesis into 3 blocks. And yeah, Chris and I are going to talk you through it. And then we are going to have a series of case studies. And so Rebecca is going to start that series of case studies, and she's going to be talking about her multi-phase thermomechanical rifting models. And of course, they're highly relevant for the Northwest Shelf because, as I mentioned before, so that's the Northwest Shelf is a prime example of how we can have multi-phase rifting, and I guess how the inheritance and the conditions of the first rift can carry on and affect the subsequent evolution of the rifting. So yeah, she's going to show some conceptual models. And then Matt Boyd is going to be presenting how landscape evolution affects or controls scene rift sequences. And although his research is motivated by the Otway Basin, the first phase of the rift in the Otway Basin, it's relevant for understanding the opening of the Canning Basin nearby the Northwest Shelf. But it can be, because again, it's a conceptual model, it can be used to anywhere around the world to understand continental sedimentation at the beginning of the rifting. And then Chris is going to, Christopher Alfonso is going to give a talk that focuses, so this is going to be a pre-recorded talk that focuses on the influence of the dynamic topography, climate, and tectonics on the evolution of the Nile River. And those workflows are wonderful workflows that have been developed by Claire, Tristan, and Sabine, and of course, Chris and Sue. And they can be applied to understand the evolution of other continental scale deltas, such as, for example, the ones in the Triassic in the Northwest Shelf. And then Sue, we're going to show the pre-recorded talk that Sue gave last night. And she's going to talk about how climate and tectonic forcing control sedimentation along the Norwegian margin. And that talk is very relevant for understanding also horizontal displacement from rift opening and seafloor spreading. And of course, that's relevant for some of the, I guess, more of the Mesozoic style rifts that we observe in the Northwest Shelf. And her models can be accessed via the atlas, as you can see here in this URL. And that's it from